Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. Hope everybody had a great 2024. Thought I'd kind of look back on some of my personal achievements for 2024. Um, I managed to add 116 games to my collection over 2024. Some arcade games and a bunch of console stuff. And I'm going to be kind of egotistical here. I actually finally broke 300 subscribers in 2024 after 14 years of being on YouTube, which blows my mind because I didn't think back in 2010 when I started this, I would still be doing it, another 14, 15 years now. Um, that's not including the 3 years I spent working on Arcade Impossible and filming all that stuff with Greg and Mike and Matt. So it's been a long time. Um, I never intended for this channel to grow. This was more, I actually started this channel as a way for me to work on my public speaking. Just making videos, being able to watch myself back, see how I react to things, make sure I'm not saying a lot of ums. I'm still working on that, which is really difficult, especially since I only do maybe one video a month. And most of the times it's just showing what I picked up over the last month and the odd things in between, like the opportunity from ArcShop US, which I'm very grateful for allowing me to be in their ambassador program, showing off some of their products that they come out, especially since being that I'm a big Guilty Gear fan, and fighting games in general, aside from Sonic the Hedgehog and Sega stuff. So that was great. I still use a lot of the products. I still have their mat here of Zato sitting in my what I call my little workstation. This is where I mostly do odds and ends, be it working on arcade games, streaming, set things up. I actually do a lot of my retro gaming here. Um, you can see the corner of it over here. That's my PlayStation 3. There's a Genesis controller with the Genesis Mini sitting there. I have a Saturn and Dreamcast that you can't see up there, along with an arcade stick, and then my Xbox 360 is also underneath past these Guilty Gear cards here. Um, so I do all that here. I'm also trying to fix up this room a little bit. You can't see. I'm purposely hiding the boxes and everything that are sitting behind me. I have papers all over the floor and other odds and ends that I can need to clean up. I want to get this room kind of in a condition where I can actually show the room, because people have kind of asked me, hey, what do you have in like the cabinets and all that back here, which is mostly my Sonic collection stuff. You can see I got the new popcorn tin from the Sonic 3 movie that just came out. Really good movie. I enjoyed it. I still think the second movie is my favorite though, which is kind of, I'm in the minority about that. I need to move the mic closer. This shelf is new. I just put this in a couple weeks ago, and I want to put another shelf back here between this wood shelf and the glass case where Felicia's sitting at, and kind of clean up the games that are on the shelves and everything, get things in order, and be able to actually put out more things I enjoy, like little figurines and such, like over here. You can't see quite well. You can kind of see her. That's BB Hood from Darkstalkers. Figurine sitting there. Morgan is actually over here, turned the opposite direction. Then you have Spawn sitting here in the middle, because I had nowhere else to really put him at the time. But this has all changed. I just kind of filled in this little shelf here for now, just to get some things off of this shelf, because this was piling up here. If you've seen the past videos, there's all kinds of junk sitting up here, and it's not all Sonic stuff. There's other things up there too that I need to organize, and then even over here, I picked up some of the games that were stacked up here, a bunch of Vita stuff. This really needs to get cleaned up, and other odds and ends, but that's, I guess, goals for 2025. So aside from that, yeah, I just, again, I never, getting back to where I was, I never intended for this to really be popular. I never wanted to be in the thousands subscribers or whatever. The counts don't really matter to me. I'm thankful for the people that have stuck with me and watched and find some of this stuff interesting. For whatever weird videos I experiment with, be it I attempted to do a podcast, which really didn't work out very well. I did little reviews of stuff, which didn't really go anywhere. So yeah, it's it is what it is. I don't do big flashy videos of showing reviews or going in depth into a lot of things. This, again, was just something I did for myself and continue to do so. And I'll continue to do that in 2025. So yeah, it's been a long trip. But aside from that, I guess goals. I beat 30 games aside from that, um, total over 2024. A lot of games like Unicorn Overlord I had finished just before New Year's on or December 31st. So a couple hours before midnight, I managed to finish that game. I had a blast in Stellar Blade after getting my PlayStation 5 Slim. So I added that console in 2024. A lot of other little things here and there. Some more. I expanded my arcade collection, game-wise at least. I did not make my goal of getting a second brass cabinet like I had intended to, so hopefully I can get the funds for that in 2025, because I'd really like a second one to make dedicated to console gaming, since my other one's set up for Steam. Super happy that Sega is releasing Virtua Fighter 5 on Steam finally. I always wanted to have that game available to me outside of just the console locked on PlayStation 4. I did do the time demo that they did for Revo. Great game. I really enjoyed it. Played wonderfully on the cabinet, especially since that was an original Virtua Fighter Esports cabinet when I managed to get a hold of it. And I have it themed out that way right now too, so it's kind of fun that I'm able to change the themes of that cabinet to kind of whatever I want it to be. So yeah, fun stuff. I thought about actually moving the arcades into this room, but I'd have to move the glass cases, and I have nowhere else to really put them. They're safer in this room than anything, because I would like to stream a little bit more in 2025, since I haven't done that in the last 3 or 4 months. I was trying to do a regular stream at least once a month or so. It hasn't really worked out, mostly because of time, no motivation to really do it. Even though I've been on Twitch again for a long time, I'm still not in affiliate. Most of my friends have already reached that point a long time ago, and I haven't really done enough to reach that. It's like, yeah, I'll stream for a couple hours at a time. Well, yeah, it is what it is. So I do this for myself. I don't do it for attention per se. I mean, I guess anybody who's really on YouTube does it for attention in some degree. But also to expand friendships. I've met a lot of people, including in 2024, on YouTube, and expanded that. So it's cool that I can hang out with other people that I normally wouldn't have gotten the chance to at conventions like Midwest Gaming Classic or anything like that. I'm actually going to MagFest for the first time at the end of this month. We'll be seeing some old Megavisions crew over there. I'll actually be working the convention in the arcade area. So if anybody's going to MagFest and you happen to be around the arcades, look for me. I'll probably be there. So I'm flying out to set them up, be there for the weekend, tear down, flying back. That, I guess, started in 2024 as well. I got back into the whole convention thing where I've been volunteering and doing setup or just being a supervisor of some sort or taking tickets and helping out with the local fighting community. There's I discovered that there is actually one in my town, sort of. They actually manage a few towns over, but for whatever the reason, they still hold tournaments here in my hometown, which is kind of cool. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make any of those meets since they meet Tuesday nights. So it's real difficult for me to do that. And plus, it's a younger crowd. I'm an older boomer gamer, I guess they would call me. I don't play Smash Brothers or Tekken 8. I'm very much an old school. I Strive. I play in Street Fighter 6. I play, but the other games I really have no interest in. I perk up more when people want to play Marvel vs. Capcom or the old King of Fighters, and I'll jump on those, or oddball ones. Like, I'm always down for a game of Sonic the Fighters or Virtua Fighter or any of those. I'll definitely jump in. But yeah. So that's pretty much 2024. I mean, not a whole lot of excitement other than that. Um, Again, I'm not living alone anymore. I now have a cat and a dog that I gained in 2024. The cat sometimes comes in here when I'm editing videos just to hang out, or if I'm just hanging around playing old retro games here. It's her second favorite place just because she can get away from the dog, and I don't allow him in here just because of all the fragile stuff in this room. So, but that's really the highlights that I have written down here for stuff. I'm sure I'm missing something somewhere along the lines. But I guess we'll go into the pickups for December 2024, starting with something that's video game related but not really a video game, and that is Burning Rangers, the 30th anniversary soundtrack. This is a collection of the Sega Saturn game, which was one of the first Sega Saturn games I actually got back in college in 2002, which is kind of a funny story. I got that game because I was a DJ for a year and a half at my local college, and the supervisor of the DJ booth actually was selling some Sega Saturn stuff just because he didn't play it anymore, and he offered them to me. He's like, hey, I got some of these Saturn games, $30 each. I was like, it's a pretty darn good deal. Of course, that was back when nobody could get rid of Sega Saturn games. They were everywhere. I got my first Sega Saturn and a handful of games back then, and Burning Rangers was one that I bought from him, along with Magic Knights Rayearth and Albert Odyssey. He also had Shining Force, which I regret not getting from him, but I was a poor college student. Didn't have the funds at the time to really jump on that. So that's always one regret from college, I guess, that I didn't have, or I do have. But Burning Rangers is a really fun game. I enjoyed it. I think I streamed it some time ago on Twitch, which, which I guess is another reason why I need to stream again. It's just stuff like that. But yeah, there was the producer actually when they released the soundtrack in Japan, he had tweeted on X saying that if enough people were interested in and actually bought the soundtrack, Sega would consider reviving Burning Rangers. I would love to see a remaster of that game. I think it's a fun platformer that's unique just because of the atmosphere, the characters, the whole premise of being a firefighter in space was something different, and the unique bosses that you come across. It's definitely worth playing, I would think, on the Saturn, if you get the chance to, by whatever means. But yeah. Moving on, I do have a Vita game that I managed to get from Video Games Plus. This is Dungeons and Bombs, part of the Play Asia East Asia Soft collection, number 59. This is one of the few. I think there's only one left on Video Games Plus that I don't have yet, which is Bard's Gold Complete, which has all the DLC on cart, which Limited Run released the game themselves, but it didn't have the DLC on the cart at the time. So that's a kind of a unique one. Otherwise, the other ones are kind of out of my price range to get, and yeah, I don't know if I'll be going for those. We got some Switch releases here. Valkyria Chronicle Remaster, which I thought was interesting. Again, has the DLC complete on the cart from Limited Run. This did release on the PlayStation 4, which I thought was kind of interesting. I didn't go for the stupid edition with all the extra stuff. I just want to support Sega, even though I kind of think they could have gone somewhere else for some of their more exclusive physical games. I mean, they did the Sonic Shadow Generation Special Edition with them, Valkyria Chronicles. They're now doing the Virtua Fighter 2 and Virtua Fighter 5 release with them, but they're going to get my money because I want to support Sega in these physical games, especially since Virtua Fighter 2 is now delisted. The other one I got was Taito Milestones 3. I wanted to get this because I like Bubble Bobble, which is on here, and also I was interested in Dead Connection, which is a unique arcade game where you play as a robber and you're doing shootouts. It's just kind of stupid fun. I saw it actually played on DJ Psycho's stream on Twitch, where he had the real arcade board in a Sega Astro City that he played it in. And I became interested in it. So when I saw that it was on this collection, I was kind of like, I kind of want to get that for it because there's really no other way to play that game. It's just one of those weird collections of arcade stuff that you discover. You're like, huh, Another unique one, they're reprinting this one finally after the game spiked over $100 on the secondhand market. That's Final Fantasy Rebirth Intergrade. I have not played the Yuffie side story, which is exclusive to the PlayStation 5. I missed my opportunity on that. I waited and held off because I was like, I'm not interested in the PlayStation 5 just for Final Fantasy. And then Stellar Blade dropped, and I was like, all right, now I can pull the trigger. But this was a game I thought I could easily find secondhand, and unfortunately it's been really hard to get a hold of. And now they're reprinting it. I think there's actually pre-orders now up on Amazon, and other retailers are now starting to carry this game again. So I managed to grab a copy for like half the price. Also on the PlayStation 4, another limited run release, we have SVC Chaos, a unique game in the SNK history. I do own this on the original Xbox. I did play it quite a bit, actually, back in the day. So yeah, this is kind of just a personal history for me, I guess, too. Even though it's a wacky game, it is jank. The difficulty is classic SNK, but just a unique way. And I think this is the first game that Evil Ken appeared in, which was fun because we didn't see that before. This is bought on the whim, Alone in the Dark. It was $30 brand new at GameStop. People were saying good things about the game, and I do like the Alone in the Dark premise. Just another survival horror clone of Resident Evil in a sense. But I enjoyed the New Nightmare. I did not like the Wii version. They have rebooted this series several times now. This one seemed to do pretty decent. And with the fact that Limited Run is releasing the Yakuza series on Xbox physically, I had to grab Judgment, part of that spin-off of the series in that Yakuza world. I did play Judgment Eyes on Xbox, but I didn't have the original Judgment. I had that on PS4. So I figured since I'm getting the Yakuza game on Xbox, I might as well get the Judgment game as well. It was like under $10 anyway. Super cheap, brand new. I hope they release The Man Who Erased His Name physically on Xbox. I would like to have that one, even though I have the Asian English version on PlayStation 5. I would just like to have that whole series on one system. And Xbox seems to be the way that they're going, especially since they're big on making sure Xbox One games work on Series X and so forth going forward. I hope they maintain that if they ever come out with another new system in the next couple of years or whatever, or if it goes handheld, who knows? The way they're going, I really expect Microsoft to keep going with a disk drive in the future. Lastly, this one, again, I found under $10 used. This was highly recommended by Tom and Do Your Nerd. After I showed off the original Mafia game, we had a little conversation on the comments about favorite Mafia game, and he said Mafia 2 was his favorite, so I ended up grabbing a copy. I do know that this came out physically in PAL regions with definitive versions of all three on one disc. I just didn't feel like importing that. I think this is backwards compatible on the Xbox Series X. Not 100%. I haven't opened it to try it yet. If not, again, no big deal. My 360 is right here. I can always pop it in and play it that way. But looking forward to jumping into this one because I really enjoyed the first game. And Tom says that this is probably his favorite, and it was a little better. So looking forward to that. But that's it for pickups. I don't really have anything else to really touch on for 2024 or anything. I guess goals for 2025 would be to beat another 25 games at least from the library, or new games coming out, or anything from my backlog. And I hopefully like to get another arcade cabinet. So yeah, there's that, which will be a tall order for things around here because I really have no idea where I'd put it. Especially since the other two that I already have sit out in the living room. And it's a great conversation piece, but it's also annoying to sit there and play the games when there's so much traffic in the living room. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But that's it for now. I'm grateful for everybody who's stuck around in 2024 and going into 2025. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And especially those that leave comments. I do like talking to people, be it there or in Discord. If you're in any of the other Discord servers I'm in for other YouTubers, I do not have one of my own personally, and I don't ever intend to. I'd rather hang around other people's and just offer to be a moderator or something. Much easier for me. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.